Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Nightwinged Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today, and we have the 7th episode of Rift Insight. Mr. Buff Studman is currently sick right now, so obviously you gotta go and get some other people, and that would include an LCS actual pro, which is Stefan right here. So you have Stefan, who is the FlyQuest Academy mid laner, actually, who got the chance to play with Wild Turtle, Revenge, people like Fnatic. So, hello, man. This is your first time being here, so how are you doing?
What's up, man? Good to be here.
How are you doing, Shenryu? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. So, what have you guys been watching for League of Legends so far?
Do you want to go first?
Me? Dang it. Dang it. I was got to go first. No, I've been watching everything so far. I'm currently catching up on China because, obviously, to really understand how good some Chinese players are, you have to really watch, because I want to do that. I want to really watch, because I was watching the LPL, and then I got so busy with work that I wasn't really able to watch the rest of it. I saw the part where FPX got knocked out, and I was like, okay, so their 5 minutes of fame are over. Essentially, it's always like that. People were really, really on FPX, right? And now we currently see that they're not even going to be making Worlds. So that's something I want to touch on because you're all also, a player that's all obviously super high ranked. So the question I would have to ask you is, when a team falls off, is it because of meta, coaches and players aren't seeing eye to eye, scrims going to shit? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I think like at the very top level, you have pretty much like the smaller things make the big differences, right?
Okay.
So whatever, I don't know what's going on inside FPX's, what their practice regime or whatever, but obviously like maybe something small like this player isn't in the best mood or whatever. You know what I mean? Like these small things just add up, and it's hard for me to like pinpoint exactly what's going wrong with them. But I will say that like the other teams are just looking like super sharp right now.
Okay. So would that also attribute to just a team being super meta dependent?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, FPX had a really defined style of playing as well, so that could play a part into it. Again, I'm not sure. Right now, it is kind of like dragon stacking meta from what I've seen. So like just heavy fighting, and LPL has been a region that's kind of known for being good at fighting. So it wouldn't be surprising where like everyone beats everyone. That's kind of what it looks like right now too.
I would ask you: are you a fan of the best of one format as a competitive LCS Academy mid laner?
I think I've talked about this before, but as a competitor, obviously, if you're good, you want like a best of three, so there's no chance of flukes, right? I think most people who compete know that. And if you're a good team, you want best of threes. Obviously, if you're a bad team, you want best of ones. But no one wants to admit they're a bad team, right? But yeah, as for the viewing experience, like best of ones, I think are the way to go, and that's probably why they're doing it, right?
Okay, Miss Shenryu, how much have you been watching so far? So I know you watched the LP. I know you watched Korea.
Yeah, I watch. I've been paying attention to Schalke just for the miracle fucking run that's happening.
They went 7-0 to get to the playoff. They reverse swept everyone. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, but I really didn't. I never really count G2 out just because who's on the team. So like I was sitting there like,
making fun of me in our C9 group. He's like, we were talking and just randomly he said FPX 3-0 G2. I was like, I hate you. Bro, no one knows. I woke up at literally 5 a.m. just to watch them play in the finals. I was like, yeah, my team's gonna win. Nope, we get destroyed in less than an hour. And they got beaten so fast, I went back to bed before work.
I was just sitting there watching that. Like, I watched that finals, and it was. I predicted. I definitely didn't have FPX winning. I had, I think, FPX versus. I think I had SKT at the time when they were still SKT, and yeah, G2 made sure that didn't happen. So I was like, well, I don't care now. But yeah, I watched Schalke. G2 I didn't watch, but I kind of figured they'd win. Rogue Fnatic, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, I mean, Fnatic, they've done it before. Like, it can happen. They'll probably at least get some games, and they 3-0'd them. So
I mean, game 3 for the Rogue versus Fnatic series, it looked like they were kind of coming back. You could see that where they're making more cohesive plays. They were actually trying to take out the back line. You saw that Reckless was actually being pressured on the Senna. But the issue here is at game 3, since Fnatic already had the 2-0 edge, and at that point, the competition was also starting to scale up. They also got the mental edge. At that point, even though you're coming back after you're 0-2 down, Rogue's players, at the end of the day, even though Fnatic did underperform most of the split so far, they're still better. So that's the problem with teams like Rogue, is that they can actually perform pretty well, but then at the end of the day, when a team like Fnatic has the better players, it definitely shows.
you can look at LPL. IG went 15 or something, and I think they only had 3 or 4 losses the whole series or the whole season. And I think they were either right behind JDG or who did they play?
I think it was like LGD, right?
LGD. I think they were right behind them in the standings, and they got absolutely clapped.
So for our NA playoffs, FlyQuest. Like, let's give a big congrats to FlyQuest. They made it to Worlds. After all these years of being in the LCS since 2017, they finally have made Worlds. So I want to ask you, Triple, what was your first reaction to your org making Worlds for the first time in 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the guys because I know from the start of the year, like, they did everything they could to make Worlds. So, and like, I've also kind of seen like all the conflict and whatever they've been through. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, it's well deserved, but it's like something doesn't feel right about making Worlds like this early into playoffs. You guys know what I mean? Like, especially with like the EU format, like Rogue's already locked into Worlds. And it seems like because Schalke or Mad is gonna miss out, and that like really sucks, especially considering like Rogue just got 3-0'd like that, right? Don't you guys think the LPL format's like a bit better?
In terms of how to really accurately pretty much predict who the best team is in your standings, yes, I actually do agree. The LPL format is better, but in terms of, let's say, the Western audience, I would see, for me, dude, I would love to watch this shit. I love watching the best of 3s when we had them for EU and North America, but people were like, oh my god, I don't want to watch FlyQuest versus Echo Fox. It's like, that's not the league problem. That's a team issue. That's an org problem.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the fact that Rogue still is already, like, they're already fucking good. And they just got 3-0'd by one of the lowest seeds in the playoffs.
No, dude, Fnatic looked like they were an 8th place team. Like, we're really underselling this. Fnatic looked horrible. They looked really bad. I told people.
Seed? I think they were
I told people, man, EU ain't, that first seed doesn't mean jack shit if Fnatic beats Rogue, because Rogue is the first seed. That means that's by regular season they're the best team. So if a team like Fnatic that looks literally like as bad as Origin, Fnatic looked almost just as bad as Origin did. And the fact that they bounced back, it's like, who's the best team now? Who's the best team?
We all know who the real 1 seed is, and that's probably G2.
That's true. You can never count.
Let's be honest here. G2's gonna clap them all. Because G2 looks really good in their series against Mad Lions too. And they're also locked for Worlds, aren't they? So Fnatic and G2 are locked for Worlds. And Rogue. Okay.
So it's between Mad and Schalke.
Yep. So who do you think is going to make it as the 4th seed?
Schalke. I believe.
I believe
in the miracle. Julius and their mid, I don't even know how to say his name because I'd have to.
Abadage?
Yeah. They've been insane. So I'll give it to them.
Dude,
they made me believers.
You know what? Gilius played really well on his Hecarim this past week against SK Gaming. I mean, like, you go from a player like Gilius, who was looked at as a laughingstock, literally just a laughingstock, and to see him bounce back, it shows that veteran players have that in them still, to the point where people can obviously have that turnaround in their career if needed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like also it's just like with any other game and any other sport, really. If you think about it, you can always improve. So like, just because one person has a really bad split doesn't mean that in the off season they can't grind and work towards getting better, and then eventually have that pop off season or second half of the split that they've had. So I mean, eh.
Michael Azbetula says, let's be honest, Fnatic are going to get wrecked at Worlds. No, my God, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. And this is the thing with Fnatic is that since we can tell their mental is kind of weak by how they were just completely collapsing around them before they obviously bounced back this week against Rogue, if they get into a group with, say, like, I don't know, IG, TSM, and they lose...
TSM?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. You know, Cloud9's making. Let's say they're in a group with IG, Cloud9, IG, Cloud9, them, and let's say a wildcard team. I think if they face a wildcard team first, and they somehow actually lose the first game against them, I don't think they're actually mentally capable of bouncing back, because we saw them consistently lose games back to back to back to back to back. We only really seen them bounce back toward week 8 when they had that super week. So that's what I was concerned about for Fnatic going into Worlds, because we literally just seen these guys basically collapse around themselves. And in 1 week they fixed it. Granted, Rogue could have also choked, but how are you guys feeling about Fnatic even going to Worlds, knowing that they were that atrocious?
Yeah. Do you really think they'll lose a wildcard team though?
They did to Gigabyte Marines. They did to Gigabyte Marines in 2017. They did.
I was trying to think of the wildcard team that upset like.
Remember, they lost to Gigabyte Marines, and they lost to Immortals, they lost to Longzhu, then after that they lost again, and again, and then they bounced back and got their miracle run for the group, but they lost. They were tilted as fuck.
See, like, but the Gigabyte loss, I can't just flame them for losing to Gigabyte, because Gigabyte beat, I think, every single team in their group at least once.
Yeah. I mean, for a wildcard team, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if we'll ever see a wildcard team like that, though. You know what I mean?
Like Gigabyte Marines?
They had what's his name? Their jungler was just hard carry.
Levi.
On like Nocturne, those unconventional picks at the time.
Bro, their mid laner, their top laner would literally sack his. Their top laner is so bad. Archie, what's his name? He would literally sack his lane, literally leave it, do nothing. Just start the game, he would run somewhere else, and he would impact the map. I was like...
he would, like, TP bot with Maokai or something. Do you remember this? Just, like, level 4, pre-level 6 as well. I love me a top laner that could do that, though. That's, like, that's really respectable, no?
He's like, alright, I'm straight up dog shit. I cannot beat these guys. I'm going somewhere else. Oh, my goodness.
You know, when you know you're not going to win lane. Go do something else.
So, what other team from the LEC really caught you guys' attention, whether it be bad or good, this past split they just had? Was it because SK Gaming played pretty well? I'm gonna give them props. They bounced back. They looked really bad, and they bounced back in summer, and they did really well. Zazie, I think, played really well. Trick came together. Their role swap top laner, what was it, Genax? They all played pretty well. It's just kind of sad that they got the lower seeds, so they're obviously knocked out now that they've lost to Schalke. But they did play pretty well. Hey, I'm gonna give you props there. You played pretty well.
I mean, they had the best of future world champs, so I guess so, right? No, but I think it goes without saying that, like, Schalke is just looking really hard right now, and like I want Mad to win and qualify because I feel like they deserve it, right? They've been around first for so long, and like they're just gonna miss out just by a tiny bit, just because. I don't know. I feel like the format sucks.
You know what's funny? Really I thought of today. A team could literally beat G2 and Fnatic and win the split. Would that means they're qualified for Worlds at that point? Because if let's say Fnatic, they would. Okay, because if G2 and Fnatic, let's say one of them win the split, they're already in Worlds, so they also would get first place. But if a team not those or them or Rogue get first place, would they also be the 4th seed?
No, the playoffs is just for deciding the seeding for Worlds.
Okay.
So I think all 3 teams, Fnatic, G2, and Rogue, are qualified, and then you have Schalke versus Mad Lions. Like, I don't know, it's coming up soon. and that's for the last spot.
Yeah, that's
And then
Ooh.
everything else determines the seeding. So
That's a spicy match. Mad Lions
Yeah.
versus Schalke. That's good. I like that one
I
right
don't know
there.
who's gonna take it, bro. I really
Bro,
don't.
Shadow versus Gilius, the jungle matchup. That's the big one right there.
I
And
do
people
is, yeah.
like if we're going 2 years ago, okay, Shadow probably destroys this guy Gilius. Who's this god? Where did this jungler come from? This is a completely different player I've been looking at all these years. Where did this guy come from?
Yeah,
I feel,
yeah.
I feel kind of bad though for like Mad. Like theoretically, if they were to lose, I think they definitely deserve it over Rogue. Like I
We're
would
talking-
just throw in one more little match, just like, hey, Mad Rogue, you know what?
Mhm.
You guys play it out now. Like these
For
other
real,
two
man.
teams.
We're talking as if they've already lost, though.
We're horrible human beings. We're doubters.
Well, I've already said Schalke made me a believer.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
I
Schalke's
totally
stronger.
believe right now.
Because toward the end of the split for the 2020 LEC Summer Split, Mad looked kind of like, they looked like they were losing
Actually,
it.
Schalke beat Mad to get into playoffs, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
so
Oh, you
I mean, I'm
right.
already kind of worried now that I think about it.
Because Mad, they have this one playstyle where they focus on having their AD carry and their jungler and their support do most of the lifting, while Humanoid is obviously split pushing. Now, I don't know if that's a playstyle you want to play against Schalke right now, because definitely Schalke can play through all their lanes. Mad Lions can't really play through all their lanes, especially, well, what's the top laner name for Mad? Arome? Arome is definitely a player he's definitely weaker than Otawamne. And I think consistently throughout the series, they'll just put Arome on weak side. And like people have been saying, if you're a really good weak side player, does that really matter? It's like, yes, that means you don't instantly lose your team the game. Also, that also means you're flexible, because we've seen like throughout past iterations of certain teams that when they can't play a certain style because that one player is not flexible, that's a problem. Kind of like a good example, Peanut, who was really, really strong in 2016, could play all the carry junglers. Dude was straight up garbage at the tank junglers. Man would literally, oh my god, throw himself into SH1 and kill himself consistently.
Yeah, no, it's a whole different world though. Like playing tanks, being kind of the glue of the team, right? Instead of like having someone else do all the setup, or you just do the carry work.
So now we are moving on to North America, and this week's set of games included TSM actually reverse sweeping Golden Guardians. A lot of people were super up in the air. So I want to ask you guys what you guys initially thought about that series first.
You want to go first?
I mean, I'm heartbroken, bro. I don't know what to say.
This man's destroyed. He's like, I just lost my wife. I just lost my kids. She took everything. She took the stove.
I mean, it makes no sense. They're up 5-0. And, like, thinking about it, like, as a whole, like, they played 2 best-of-5s, right? They're up 5-0. And they lost 5-3? You know what I mean? Like, what's that? That makes no sense at all, right? So I don't know. It just sucks so bad. It sucks for them.
I think Bjergsen had probably the most massive backpack that he could find. One of those military ones, and he grabbed everybody in and he carried them on through. But no, I think it's mighty unfortunate. Like, I think it's really unfortunate. You're up 2-0. You only got one more series after that. Like, I think GG was actually a good team despite the record.
Happened? Like, what even happens? You're the ones winning. They did everything. See, that's I go at it from a theoretical standpoint. You've done everything right up until that point. You are not losing, and then at some point, it's like for people who are obviously younger than me. You're driving, and that's like you're driving and you're taking your feet off the gas. Like at some point, they took their feet off the gas. I think because they probably felt like they were going to win the game, and in competitive competition, you just can't do that. I know it's in the moment. You're like, okay, we're already sweeping these guys. We're already 10,000 gold ahead. What can go wrong, right?
Complacency.
I couldn't agree more with you, though. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, whenever you think about the result as well, I've seen so many teams fall from 2-0 down, like 2-0 up.
Cloud9 last year.
Like,
Cloud9 against TSM in the spring split 2019. I was there live. I was there
Yeah.
live.
TL.
Do you know how heartbroken I was? We're 2-0 up. All right.
Oh,
we went
yeah,
to LA.
yeah, yeah.
We went to LA 2 hours. Got everything early. Got all my Cloud9 stuff ready. 2-0. All right. Easy day. We're going back home. Well, Game 3 had its own set of rules, and then Sneaky was like, I'm going to get in front of my colleague who can literally two-shot me with their auto attacks. Thank you, Sneaky. And then next thing you know, reverse sweep. I'm just like, God, like you can see a team start off so strong during the day, and then something mentally clicks. Or is it Bjergsen? Because that's the next point I want to talk about. Bjergsen is truly carrying TSM. This man, I mean, if people said MVP, Core JJ, or Bjergsen, if you chose Bjergsen this split specifically, I would not be mad.
I would argue either one of them. I mean, you could make arguments for both. You could argue that TL has the better team, so that helps. Like individual players in each spot. I mean, you could argue Jensen, Bjergsen all day on who's the better mid laner, but I think Impact is better than Broken Blade. Broxah is obviously a world-class jungler, and then Tactical is played amazing. You know, I mean, granted, he's you're putting him against Doublelift is. If you look at statistically, he is by far the best ADC NA has had. And then you go to support. And then, honestly, that brings me to my favorite part of the series. Biofrost on Bard, ulting Doublelift. That was the greatest thing.
Oh, when I saw
After
him
he escaped, ulted
him. Right when I saw like Biofrost ult the dragon that Spica pretty much was gonna steal, I was like, all right, TSM, just literally throw the towel. You guys are.
He said, "You're gonna bench me, huh?"
Oh yeah.
You want to bench me, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you want to pay me less money for Academy, right? Oh, I see what you're doing there. Oh my God, man! Like you cannot do that against actual better teams. It just not people really underestimate why people say that. You cannot, because they punish mistakes harder. There's going to be weaker LPO or Korean teams that obviously do not punish it correctly, but the actual strong teams that you don't even imagine doing that against IG. You ulting the dragon when you're jungling to the steal the dragon, like Rookie's like, no que? Troll? Wait?
I think
like, what is that? What kind of troll shit is that? And that's legal because it's literally inting. That's bullshit.
I think with any four, though, of the LPL teams, like, I think any of the top four, whoever makes it, honestly, their top 6 teams, I think, are all, like, if you do, like, those, like, silly mistakes or stuff like that, they will punish. Because, I mean, if you look at it, FPX is the exact same team as last year where they won, except they have Khan subbing in and out with Gimgoon. So, I mean, like, you know, LPL and even, like, Korea, you got T1's, like, what, third? I think they finished 3rd or 4th, and then you got
they finished 4th. Yeah,
Damwon, who's just
insane.
God. Which I was on the Damwon hype train last year. I thought they were gonna upset G. I was definitely one of the people that they're gonna upset G2, and then they got clapped, and I was like, you know what? It is what it is. All predictions can't be right.
Oh my God! Oh, Triple, were you hyped on Damwon last year? Actually,
it's I was going around telling everyone like Licorice is the best top player in the world, guys. I've seen it. I played him in solo queue. Like this guy's so good, and then he goes in and shits the bed, and everyone just tells me I'm stupid.
You know, Naguri did something. Naguri did something. He made people remove the Dade Award. I'm like, that's something. That's something. He did something. So
he single-handedly got that one rune removed. I forget which one. The one that every
oh my God!
Went. I forget the name of it now. Yeah, Klepto. Because he ran it on everybody.
Oh yeah.
Klepto Vlad. That was his thing. Klepto Vlad.
If there was a game he didn't take Klepto, it was weird because every game he just took Klepto and that was it. That was that.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh my God.
He was like in EU solo queue last year. He was just running through the ranks. Like if you ran into him or Showmaker, like it's an instant lose.
Well, Showmaker right now is the best solo queue player in the world.
Yeah, rank 1 and 2, right?
Showmaker,
he's rank 1 and 2.
It's always them. It's always them. Naguri, Showmaker, and Canyon. That is one of the best triple threats I've ever seen on a team. Because they're all. Naguri does this thing where he plays up too far forward. But to be fair, he's really good at it. And like there are teams that can punish that because you can punish him. The issue here is Canyon always has to decide who he's going to play towards. And if whatever laner Canyon chooses to play through, he actually does it so well to the point where, let's say if who was it, Showmaker falls behind, then Naguri or Ghost will actually pick up the slack because they're the support they have now, not the other guy they had, What's his name? Barrel?
Barrel, yeah.
Barrow was
Barrow's-
the All-Star one trick. It's just if you got All-Star, they won. If you didn't, a little shaky.
Oh my goodness.
But I feel like them having like a not as, like playmaking bot lane actually works in their favor though. Because like they got such hard carries in the top side, right?
Mhm.
And you don't want to like pull resources away from those guys. So in a sense, it is good. I know they're like they don't play as well, and like everyone says, oh well, what if someone had like Teddy or something? They'd be the best team in the world. And I don't know. I'm not sure.
That'd be
Because
crazy.
I think
they kind of do just put Ghost on Ziggs duty, don't they?
Ghost is either on Ash or Ziggs. This man is
Yeah, one
literally
or the other.
utility. This man is on utility till I mean he played much better than that previous guy they had. What was his name? Nuclear? Good
Nuclear.
God.
Yeah.
Good God, man.
But
I mean, I would play Soraka if I had those solo lanes.
Yep,
man.
I was gonna say I would
I'll just
if
play
I
Soraka
knew
every
who
game.
my solo laners were. If they were two of the arguably the best solo laners in their position in the world, yeah, put me on Soraka. I'll just go around heal bot. Max W. I'll sit there in your lane.
What do you guys think about Genji?
Oh,
BDD player of the split.
that guy is
be-
insane though. Yeah.
My issue with people saying Genji's really strong, it's not that it's not true. It's that Rascal and Life are not that good, and I hate that they get hyped as a super team when Rascal and Life are literally not superstars. They are like average players on the best day, But that does work in the context of you have Clid, BDD, and Ruler, so they could be a superstar team in a different way, because people only really see things for league teams as one way. It's a one-way street. So that big debate of Demonte and Bjergsen came up last week before their series this week, and it was like, well, Bjergsen was outclassing Demonte so hard in their series. I'm like, Demonte can be good at something and be the best at something else that's not Bjergsen. I think the general public only really likes highlight plays and the fancy LeBlanc change in the back line, destroying the back line, the Ziggs bomb that kills the AD carry. Like, there's certain players that can be good at other things and really good at other things rather than always be the focus star of their team. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you really just have to do your job, right? In the team,
Mhm.
like it's a 5-man job. You just have to do your own job, and if everyone else picks up the slack, then like you're good. And I feel like TL is like a perfect example of that. So when you're talking about like MVP, Core JJ versus Bjergsen, it's like, well, Core JJ doesn't need to go above and beyond to do his job because everyone else is carrying their weight, But when you're talking about TSM, like Bjergsen has to do all the fucking carrying because something always somehow goes wrong, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
So to pivot back to the Golden Guardians versus TSM. So with that, Golden Guardians are done. Their season is over. We won't see them until 2021. I think that they actually got pretty good toward the end of the split. FBI, Australian guy, good God.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
became so good. He became super lane
I
dominant.
feel like he was always like this good, just no one noticed. Because back when I played against him in O's, he was really fucking good as well.
But then you have like random TSM fans on Twitter going, FBI is dog shit. One of the best ADCs in North America called him good. And you, a bronze player who has no life whatsoever and lives in your basement, is saying he's good. He's not good. What? What?
They took that one, like the flash, and they ran with it. I think
I
personally,
hated
I
he
would
did
say
that. I knew he was going to do that. I saw his position. I knew he's going to do it. He's going to see the pentakill in his eyes. He's going to see the next round.
solo queue. That's the solo queue flash. No, I think
Gosh.
honestly,
Sure,
personally though, I think they played. If you just look at it and you look at, I like taking stats, but not just stats, but also like if you look at how they're playing throughout, stats wise, best bot lane in the league. FBI was the best ADC.
That's
but also
super
when you look
insane.
at it, it wasn't like, oh, he just had good stats. Like, yeah, no, he also played like really well outside of laning phase as well. I think he just had some like hiccups here and there. And then it's nice to see go from like, oh, he's washed up mid laner, yada yada yada, and he goes and he performed actually really well this split.
Congrats to Huhi. Most people doubted his swap. I did too. Not gonna sit here in front of you guys, but he turned it into his own support, and I like that. I like that FBI came into his own because you always saw it there. You always saw it in him. You saw it in his gameplay. You saw that he's not dog shit. And if you're not dog shit, than your other bad ADCs that I can't mention right now. But then wait, who are you at that point? No, you definitely being anybody in solo queue. That's me. But what you guys think about? I don't know. It's hard to say. How would I point this? If Bjergsen is carrying TSM this hard and they really cannot play through another lane as sufficient, like, do we really want this team at Worlds though?
I mean, it would be better than other teams we've sent to Worlds previous years.
To be fair, if that's your criteria, that's definitely a step above. That is literally wasted. But the playstyle of this is only playing through mid. That playstyle, I think, is just super volatile because we know the other players on the team right now are just not currently performing super well.
That will not work against teams like that have like BDD, Showmaker, Knight. Yeah, no. You
Knight.
trying to just solely go through
Knight.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Because they had this play style a while ago, back in 2017 at Worlds. They tried to do that through Bjergsen. The better mid laners, just even Maple was like, nope, you're not leaving your lane, buddy. People kept criticizing he doesn't roam, he doesn't really, he's not really super lane dominant. He can't be those things against better mid laners. It does not work. You will literally just lose. It's not he loses, but his impact is severely less. That's the point of it. They don't have that. If they were a mixture of Bjergsen could carry them, while a Doublelift and Biofrost or Treats could be a really strong bot lane, because Spica is just, how does this guy have a check? This guy actually has a check in the LCS.
He has hit or miss games, honestly, I think.
He's been better in the playoffs. He's been better in the playoffs. I'll give him that. But it's like Broken Blade also is hit or miss too. Like, you have a bunch of hit or miss players,
Coin flips.
So, any last words on Golden Guardians as their series against TSM put them out of the playoffs after they've lost?
I think they'll be fine, honestly. I wouldn't even worry about blowing up the roster. I think you can keep that roster.
I say keep it. They're going to give Closer the most money to keep him. He is literally like the best jungler in the league.
Yeah, I think all their players individually, like, their stocks went up, you know what I mean? So they shouldn't be too upset about it. I don't know if they would have beat Cloud9 anyways, just being real here. So, I mean, they had a good split, right?
Let's talk about Cloud9, because Cloud9, they lost to your org. FlyQuest.
Yeah. That was a weird one. Like, I don't even know what happened that series. It was just a bunch of fighting.
Dude, I'm be honest.
I guess we just fought better, right?
I'm a C9 fan, but you guys destroyed us. Holy shit! Even the game we won wasn't even your fault. You lost. It was just because. Why did you guys get Baron? And we're like, no map,
I was so
map.
Sad. You know what happened?
Dragon.
Like, as soon as we got the Baron in the second game, I'm like, oh my god, like Nick, our manager, I'm like, Nick's packing his bags right now. He's getting ready to go to Worlds. Like, oh my god, I'm getting so hyped up. And then I leave the room, come back, and our Nexus blew up. Like, how does that make any sense? You know what I mean? And that's just the story of the whole series. I feel like you could just never know who's gonna win until the end.
It was that Cloud9 were not playing good. Even in the game the Cloud9 won, it was also not very convincing. Because we only really won because you actually messed up. And people know, they're like, oh, well, Cloud9 won, it doesn't matter. No, you cannot just think that way. If you think like that way, you're garbage at the game. Because if you always say, oh, yeah, they lost, it doesn't matter. It's like, no, they really only lost because you guys went to Baron, you went and stacked the Dragon, so you didn't need it all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But then after that, FlyQuest dominate the series. They win 3-1. And now they're on their way towards Worlds. And then you have Team Liquid versus Golden Guardians. To be fair, the Golden Guardians bot lane in this series in particular was really strong. They were playing really well. But TL has the better players. That's what sucks about these lower caliber teams is that if you have the better players, you could normally naturally count on them and always come out on top. So, what do you guys think about Team Liquid so far and their chances for potentially winning the split? They face FlyQuest.
I feel like they will. Oh, I mean, I hate to go against my own org,
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
No, but I feel like
I'm just kidding.
I feel like, but percentage-wise, TL probably has the highest percentage of winning. And then it's hard to say. It's like it's all up in the air, Obviously, you don't want to be third seed going into Worlds because then you have to go.
Oh my god, death! That's literally death.
Yeah.
It's the Cloud9 playoff, or what do you mean?
The
Cloud9 Worlds buff.
It was yesterday.
True,
Cloud9 Cloud9 put their trap card on Twitter. We've activated our trap card gauntlet buff. I was like, why are you activating this before game day? This shit doesn't work. You have to do it on game day. So okay, that's Flag. Okay, so last two playoff series got that. All right, so C9 3-0 EG after losing to you guys, and not gonna lie, that didn't look. It was not that much better. I was like, good God, it was not that much better. But this is what I try to tell people: is that not playing League for like a week, you have those buys for teams, and they say sometimes that's not the best thing because let's give you an analogy. So like so for sports, let's say, do you guys watch like MMA, WWE, shit like that?
I follow MMA.
Okay,
I used to.
So do you know how like a fighter could be rusty after not fighting? They call it ring rust.
Yeah, ring rust, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? After he freaking went to fight Mayweather.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, having him a little bit.
See, that's the thing with getting a buy is that you could get this is what I call it rift rust, where like you're not playing as good as you were before because you haven't played in a week. Things are playing on stage, or quote unquote on stage, since we're in an online format for the leagues right now, is that it's much different. And in online, the benefit is you're at home, you're comfortable right now. So if you're not consistently getting that stage game practice, it's definitely gonna hurt, and we saw it in the FlyQuest series. It was like, why is the same Ezreal Yumi draft every single game? What is that? So you're a triple. You would know about drafting. So if certain teams are really stern on a draft and they want to keep playing it, they want to salty run back. Is that because you guys? Is that because you're choking, or you just genuinely think this strategy is strong?
I don't know if it's like, I hate to chalk it down to ego. I feel like, me personally, like when I saw the drafts, I'm like, wow, well, C9 won this draft, because they had a good matchup in top. I think all games, just GP versus Shen, so it's pretty free for GP, and they had free scaling with Yumi. Like, I think they're in good spots to win all those games, but then something just happened, like Sven walked in and got caught twice,
Well,
you know what I mean?
Something more iconic than FPX 3.0 and G2.
I hate getting so caught.
Sven getting caught like that. Like, I hate to see it.
Why you gotta do a brother like that? No, I'm just kidding.
But see, that's what I said. I lean more towards, even if draft is bad, if the players are better, you can always come out on top.
Bro, I've seen teams literally have the shittiest draft possible and still win because they're just that much better.
Bro, G2 argued over who could take Kha'Zix, and it was between Wonder and Caps, and I think Wonder won, and they still smashed the game. Kha'Zix top.
Oh my God.
Draft, it does play an important part. I will gladly say that. However, I will always go with, if you are the better player, you can turn it and you can make it work in your favor.
I've seen LPL supports get stuck on Tom Kench. I even LPL, like it was a few splits ago, they were all just constantly stuck on Tom Kench. It was either Tom Kench or you get Nautilus or you get Thresh. I've seen people carry games on Tom Kench. What is that? Yeah. So that's why I try to tell people, even in the C9 group, Mr. Triple, do not join that group. You will literally actually snap your neck.
What is this?
It's so bad.
Like a fan group or something?
Yes, but people understand the game on such a surface level analysis that it's like, oh no, the draft sucks. Reaper sucks. It's
that's
like,
what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just because the result was bad doesn't mean the draft was bad, and
mm-hmm.
that's like my kind of hot take for the whole series. I know the majority of the public is shitting on the draft, and they're like, oh wow, salty run back, but I feel like, all the players have a say in the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they probably all mutually agreed that this draft is good, like it's winning. Then they'll play on with it. I don't think an org as good as C9 is gonna like just leave it all up to Reaper,
And Ezreal Yumi's really, really strong.
If you can get out of lane phase with that, like, which I think they did,
mm-hmm.
then you can pretty much run over the game mid game and.
Mm-hmm.
Just use that like 2-item spike, 2-3-item spike, and just run over the game. So I think they kind of missed their window or messed up on those timings, and then I guess they just lost.
So for the people who are watching, going to watch this as a replay, when you say timings, what do you mean by that? So like at certain points in this game, this champion and this champion spike at the same time, so you capitalize on an advantage, right?
Yeah, so power spikes, pretty much.
Go for the map. If Dragon's up and you're almost on that Triforce Man Immune spike for Ez, try to get it before that dragon fight, stuff like that.
Yep. Couldn't have said it any better. Just force objectives, get them to come into you, and then just force a fight.
But now, what if teams think they're not as strong? Because we have that thing with a lot of teams too. They don't think they're as strong at that moment during the game, so they don't force these mistakes out of the enemy team they're beating.
Yeah, I think it's a player issue, man.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know.
this like suck. Oh my god.
So do you think? So are you talking about like as far as like individual skill wise, you don't think you're as good, or are you talking about like in the map state? You've got Ezreal not on Triforce yet, not on Man Immune fully built and stuff like
Well,
that, going for objectives, like
I feel
trying
like
to force fights.
it's on the people with the spikes to say it, right? Like, oh well, I just got my Rabbit on Death Cap, I just got my Triforce. Like, it's time to go, you know? Like, I want to force this. There's like that notion that 80 carries and mid laners aren't shot callers, but I think that's really false, because it's not like you just have to only focus on your mechanics. You can't like focus on other things or look at the map, you know? I feel like more 80 carries and mid laners should have a say in what goes on in the map. So it's like, it's their responsibility. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've noticed that as the years have gone, it seems like the shot callers have gone more towards like support jungle. It's like I think the last major shot caller from like we'll say mid lane that I can remember at least was High. Like everybody knew High was the shot caller.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you had Doinby on FPX, which kind of recently brought that back. And then you notice that as a shot caller, it's basically now whoever has the priority in the team, whoever's ahead, gets to call the shots. I don't really think that's the best idea personally, because that person could just not have a good sense of the state of the map. Just because you're ahead doesn't mean you actually know what to do while being ahead.
It is really idealistic though. Like I think
so I'm hard stuck fucking D5.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
No, but like in an ideal world, that is like the best way to go, right? It just so happens that like maybe not everyone has the correct idea of how to play the game at that given moment.
And that's what happened to EG. They had 3 different personalities, wanted to do different shit.
Did anyone really think EG was going to win though? You know what I mean?
I'm being honest here. So we can quickly tackle it. C9 versus EG. No, I didn't think EG were doing shit.
No way.
They have the best. I know they have the best mid laner on the planet, Golden Glue. I know, but hey, the Svenskeren tweet. Oh my god.
What do you say?
Time to look it up.
Oh, bring it up.
No, this was. I love trash talk. I love trash talk. I love it.
Are you talking about when he just put the period or whatever?
Svenskeren. He says, "Hey, at Niski, did you pack your suitcase because you're going on vacation today?"
Oh yeah, no, I love it.
I love it. I love it all. Good guy.
Oh, they play.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, I love it. Good god, man. This is before the game. It's like, dude, please. Golden Glue's, we know Golden Glue's amazing. He's faker level, but, this team is not it, man. I don't know. With EG, as this is the last time we're going to talk about them before the year is over, for EG, I don't know. Maybe, returning LCS org, jitters toward the very end. They just couldn't keep it together. They finished, what, 5th, 4th in spring? 3rd? One of those. And this split, it just didn't come together, It was just all bad at a certain point. There wasn't really any bright spots, As I can really point out. They benched Jizuke after losing to CLG. Kumo got benched, even though he was performing pretty well. For Huni, it just always felt like to me they only wanted to play Huni, and they had to shuffle up their roster in order to incorporate Huni in there.
Well, they had to choose between Jizuke or Huni, right?
Yep.
Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say that, yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah. I was like, yeah, good trade. Really, really good trade.
I think, I don't know. It's you either go for coin flip mid, or you go for coin flip top.
Because Bang, I think Bang was super underappreciated all year long. He played really well.
Player on the
most
team.
consistent, always put out damage.
Series, but yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
Bro, he's already out. Good God.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they just really didn't like Uma or something. For them to change up their roster that much. I don't know. You don't always need like a bunch of carries, right? So I feel like maybe they could have kept Jizuka in there and kept playing Kuma. Like, just go with what you did in split
Spring.
one, but
Mhm.
yeah, it could be a Hoonie bang thing, you know. With these
Put him on
Okay.
the Volibear. Put him on the Volibear duty.
exactly.
He was
No,
one of the first
Kuma's
ones
looking
to
good. He
abuse
was looking good on
Volibear.
Volibear. Yeah.
He was one of the first ones bringing out Volibear, showing people he actually is a really strong champion. And he was actually they literally are gonna bench him for one bad game in the split. He's bouncing back, and Hooney's literally running it down in front of your face.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
It's
guess I
like
had to make use of
NA
the
man.
contract. You know, they gotta pay him and whatever. I
it's
don't
just
know. I
it's
don't
just
know, bro.
it's just NA man. It's just NA. Oh my god. But as we get towards this weekend, we have this spicy matchup. So it's always C9 versus TSM.
Always
Because
has been.
it's always C9 versus TSM, not that TSM CLG rivalry. No. This is a better rivalry. This actually has fans, you know. No, oh my god. I know people in CLG. Oh god, okay. So it's always Cloud9 versus TSM. Fun fact, last time TSM and Cloud9 faced for the final spot at Worlds, Cloud9 3-0 TSM, and Sven was on that TSM lineup. So now Sven gets to be on Cloud9 and potentially finish off TSM. You know Sven's going to want to get that sweet revenge against TSM after TSM beat them early on in the split, and then later on last year, they let Sven go towards Cloud9. So this is all it. This is it. So whoever wins this qualifies for Worlds. Whoever wins the split, then that's to be decided in the finals. But this is it. Cloud9 versus TSM. So if someone picked TSM, I'm not mad at you because they do look pretty good if Bjergsen is playing well. There's the thing. If Bjergsen is playing well. Because
Also,
you can exploit the rest of their map. You can exploit the entire team. All their team has weak spots.
I think the last time TSM played C9, it was pretty bad other than Sven. Like Sven was landing every arrow he possibly could on double lift every time. And then it just didn't do anything though. Like he played great. So I think it depends.
So
I
let's
think
let's
they have
preview
to
the
get
lanes.
Vulcan off of give
Yeah.
Vulcan a playmaker, realistically, and then also get Blabber on aggressive junglers.
Let's preview this series. So you have the top lane matchup, which is Licorice versus Broken Blade. Who are you guys taking? Licorice? All right, goodbye, Broken Blade. Good God. But Broken Blade, he has been playing a little bit more better in the playoffs so far. So it depends. Like, will C9 put Licorice on weak side? That's the problem too. Because if Licorice is on weak side, his impact on the game is weaker too, to a certain extent.
I think he's probably one of the best weak side top laners you could have though. So I don't know, if I wanted to take like the matchup, like the only person I really see Licorice losing to an NA 1v1 in a matchup is Someday. Realistically.
Then you have Blabber versus Spica. Blabber has been performing pretty bad as the second half of the split has been unfolding, but I'm still going to take Blabber over Spica in any day imaginable. But I want to give credit to Spica. He has been performing a lot better in the playoffs too. So if there's games where Spica has a bigger impact than Blabber, it only just depends on which champion Spica's on. Because if Spica's on something like the Nidalee, then I'm expecting this guy to get the game going. Whereas Blabber, he can get the game going, but the problem with Blabber is that if he doesn't get the game going, Blabber cannot play from behind. We know this. Blabber cannot play from behind. So what do you guys think about the jungle matchup?
I think it's probably going to be a lane difference, isn't it? Because
Niski versus Bjergsen.
yeah, I mean, like if C9's lanes have priority, they can help the jungler out and get him ahead. So like Blabber's really good at playing from ahead. So
I think
if the lanes win, then I think the jungle matchup is going to win as well, right?
I was gonna say I can agree with that. Also, I think it depends on how much more practice Blabber is on things like Graves, Nidalee, those aggressive junglers, because that's what he was known for. I mean, Olaf was permabanned except once. Like the first 3 games he played it, they went 3-0, and after that, it only made it through pick ban once. They didn't pick it, and I believe they lost that game too.
Bjergsen versus Niski. Is it a landslide for Bjergsen, or is it because Niski has been consistently falling off a literal cliff?
I think that's the biggest difference. Personally, I think that's the biggest difference, or the biggest gap you have is the mid. But I also don't think it's like drastic. Like I don't think it's that big.
What would you put a percentage on it? What do you think?
It's 70 30.
60 40, 70 30.
70 Bjergsen, 70 Bjergsen,
Yeah,
30
I
Niski.
can agree with that. I think I can agree with the 70-30. I think it also depends, though. I think Niski's also never really been known for like being this lane. Like he was always good at lane, but like he was also known for pretty much being the best team playing mid in NA. Like he would always, him and Blabber would always go. He pretty much played like Doinby did in the Worlds last year, where he was constantly just other places other than mid.
He said, I'm the NA Doinby. Well, the problem with Doinby is he's not lane dominant, so if there's a player that's better than you, he's going to exploit you. That's the issue with Doinby's playstyle, you know? But that's also because he's an LPL and they have like 10 times better players over there than the LCS does. So we also have the bot lane. Sven and Vulcan versus Double If and, let's just say Biofrost, since the last one. It's pretty much a guarantee they'll play Biofrost. Sven and Vulcan, to be fair, they actually are still pretty consistent. Despite the losses that they suffered against FlyQuest, they were still pretty consistent, actually. Even it was just the last game where Sven didn't really get the chance to really pop off on the Ezreal and the Yuumi composition that C9 was running. So if you want to give the C9 bot lane the favor in the matchup, I would do it. I think they've shown us more, and they're more consistent. But the problem is that only an 80 carry difference, or is that a support difference, though?
I would argue a support difference personally.
Yeah, I'm seeing a galactic support gap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now that I think about it, actually, when you mentioned a bot lane and you were like Sven, Vulcan, double lift, Biofrost, I was like, you know what? I might change my mind on the biggest gap. I might, but that's also because I think Vulcan's the second best. You could argue second best support in NA right now. And Biofrost, they've just been having some issues as far as chemistry goes and which one they're even starting, and that also could play an effect. You know, you get benched, that could have an effect on your mental and whatnot on how you're going to play now.
So let's see it this way. So TSM's playstyle is play through Bjergsen, and the other laners are stable enough so they don't lose hard enough so Bjergsen can get them through their parts in the mid game and the late game. C9's playstyle is basically Blabber getting aggressive early on, conquering the other enemy jungler, Niski roaming, Licorice on weak sides, Sven and Vulcan on a scaling bot lane. But even though they usually have a few other playstyles, they usually always play fast unless they're losing. Actually, even when they're behind, they're always still fighting back. That's something that I could give them. Because TSM, when they're losing, they just instantly just like, all right, we're done. We're not fighting anymore. Cloud9, dude, they just keep. I saw those first two games against the Guardians. I was like, what am I looking at? They're just not trying anything. They're just sitting there losing.
Yeah. They're saving it for game 3 to 5.
They're already out, man. They're already out. Good God.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to be like a fly on the wall in that room, you know, like just to see what their moods were like at the time.
Oh gosh. So who you guys picking? Who's gonna go to Worlds for NA? That's the last seed technically, because we're not gonna have a seeding until I think the following week. No. It's the same week. Okay.
I think I'll just take C9 3-1. Let's just say 3-1.
I was gonna say the same thing. 3-1 Cloud9.
Give TSM a win. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe something disastrous happens.
I wanna do. Hey, I'm the biggest fan out here. I would love to have a 3-2 series. Cloud9 crawls back reverse.
Yeah, me too.
Like back in the day, but I don't know, man. People are gonna say I'm biased, but am I really biased after the TSM series I just saw? Like that's crazy that Golden Guardians were literally 5-0 up on TSM.
Yeah. I guess you can never count them out with the amount of experience I have. I don't know if they even tilted. Maybe they didn't. It's hard to say. Because if I was down 0-5, I think I'd be pretty mentally shattered.
Yeah. I'd be pretty pissed.
All right, so
bro, just select
Shenryu, who are you going with?
You already know.
Oh yeah, 3-1 C9.
You already know, man.
3-1.
I'll go 3-2. I'll give them 2.
No, that means you're gonna give me a heart attack. You just want to give me a heart attack, man. What's wrong with you? I don't want a heart attack.
I mean, you know, yeah, the recent series have been shaky.
Yeah,
but
true.
Also, just looking at who's on the team, I'm not gonna really count them out. 3-1, maybe. But recency bias would lead me to believe that both teams aren't really performing that well. So Yeah, I'd say it's up in the air. I'd say 3-2 C9 though.
And now you have the next day, and that is FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. And this will seat the person into the
Hey,
finals.
The boys.
Yeah.
So you guaranteed World's group stage if you win that. So that's actually pretty big.
Oh no, they already have it. You guys already have it.
No, but if you go third place, you're in play-ins. So you don't want to like play all the way from there,
you're right. Sorry. So
if you're in the finals, it actually matters a lot. So
you're
both teams
right.
will definitely try their hardest.
If let's FlyQuest back-to-back finals appearances for 2020.
I can believe it, man.
I'm a believer. Showcase greatness. Let's go.
Yeah. No, I'll never bet against my own team, actually.
He's gonna go 3-0 FlyQuest.
baby.
Oh no!
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first.
FlyQuest Academy mid laner triple is 3-0 FlyQuest. Oh my god. Watch it be like 3-1. You're like, guys, I'm a prediction god. I almost said it.
Guys, yeah.
All right, so let's
go.
Let's go to lane by lane like we did the last series. Solo versus Impact.
No, hold on. I want you guys' honest predictions too.
No.
What do you mean?
I'll give you mine. I think it'll be 3-2. I think it'll be 3-2, but I'll edge it to TL.
Oh my
However,
god.
I will say that I really do like PoE as a player. Just like how he just experiments, and then he'll give his reasoning behind things as well. So it's not like, oh, I'm trolling. I just picked Lichbane because like he actually showed the math and everything. On like Twitter, he put out a doc, like a Google doc about it.
2 auto attacks,
he's like, he went like he went big brain mode. He was like, if I weaved in an auto attack after every one, it gives me like a 10% increase in damage and all this other stuff.
Literally a math scholar, literally.
And I was like, you went through all this like mid game, like what?
he was doing the math that he said, yeah.
So I don't know. I would like to see FlyQuest win.
I would love to see back-to-back finals appearances to go from a Snickers team no one cared for to back-to-back finals appearances in Worlds. That's crazy. Back-to-back finals appearances in Worlds for 2020. Talk about a comeback year. So it proves if you want to make a comeback, you can. I'm talking you CLG and Immortals, but I digress.
They're one of my favorite orgs though, as an org, like the whole like Sequest, all that stuff. Like I like them as an org, like just strictly as an organization. I like them so.
It's weird because in the series, look at give my prediction. Fuck. No. Oh yeah, he's like, no more episodes if you don't pick FlyQuest. He's like, I'm done with this.
If you pick TL, I'm never coming to the show. No, go for it.
Never see me again.
What was that? What was that? Iron Man 3? You'll never see me coming. It's hard to say, man. FlyQuest are actually strong in the playoffs. Now that I think about it, they're actually pretty strong.
Right? Yeah, we're pretty
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. They're strong in the playoffs, but in best of ones, it's like Cloud9 could 7-0 this team, but in playoffs, they're a completely different team. TL also been pretty good so far, but we've only seen one series out of TL. We've seen more out of FlyQuest. So if FlyQuest win, is it really that much of an upset, though? Because people are calling it an upset right now. It's like they are playing better, and they are playing good, but better is subjective in terms of who you're talking to.
They're probably looking at it in terms of ending record of the season as an upset, whereas TL only lost 2 games, and you got FlyQuest who lost, 6, 7, something like that?
5. They lost like 6 games, but they went 7-2 in their last weeks because they had an easier schedule.
So that's probably why they're looking at it as an upset. And also a lot of people will just take first seed, and then they'll run with that as whoever beats the first seed is an upset, like Rogue. Like the whole Rogue.
Yeah, look what happened to Rogue, man.
I'm gonna do it. No, but Jensen and Core JJ are so strong. So I gotta go lane by lane first before I do it. Okay, so Solo versus Impact.
I actually don't think it's as big of a gap as people would think. I think Solo is actually really good.
Okay. Solo is literally if you want, you could say a weaker or better Impact for his team. They're pretty much like 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I think Solo just does what needs to be done. Like, he understands the game really well. Like, you'll see teams commit a lot of resources to just put him behind as well, 3-man dive him, while Power Wheel's just mid taking plates because he's going to carry later. And he's fine with that. So that's really respectable to just be put in that role and just drop the ego, you know?
Yeah, he's also improved significantly. Like
Mm-hmm.
he grinded in the offseason. They're talking about it, like Analyst does. He's talked about it, how he put in a bunch of work, and it shows he's one of the best weak side top laners
Yeah.
in the league. Put him on Ornn and he'll be fine. He won't. He's
Yeah,
not
on
gonna
a Shen,
hard
right?
lose lane. Yeah, he's not gonna
Yeah.
hard lose lane, and he'll do what he needs to do. He'll land some clutch ults, and that's that.
All right, so now you have the mid lane that's what jungle matchup, which is Santorin versus Broxah. Now, Santorin is actually, I think, the second best jungler in the league. Broxah also is pretty interesting, to say the least. There's some games where Broxah doesn't really have an impact, but Santorin's non-impact doesn't come from him not being impactful. It's because he's playing a supportive jungling style that facilitates his lanes.
Yep. I give that to Santorin though. Like no bias.
Yeah.
Having played with
No
both these
bias here,
guys in
guys,
solo
remember.
queue or whatever,
Mhm.
watching scrims and that, I think Santorin's just a lot more suited for his
Mhm.
teammates, and yeah, I mean he does a good job of being that supportive jungler without getting behind,
I was gonna
Yeah.
take
without
Santorin
like
too.
sacrificing himself. Yeah, so I think maybe 60-40 Santorin, maybe
Yeah.
70-30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Santorin based off
Yeah.
this
Mid
like
lane
split.
matchup. The mid lane matchup. Power Vivo versus Jensen.
I don't think it's as big as people might want to believe.
Like
Actually, I think
Wiz,
it's very even. Actually, that's
I'll
what I
give it
think.
like
yeah.
55-45 Jensen.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Jensen?
I think
Also,
Jensen
also
individually
50-50.
skilled.
I was gonna say 50-50.
I think if I were to just look at individual skill,
Yeah.
I'll take Jensen. I just think it depends also. Like,
Okay.
is it late game PoEs on Oriana? I don't know if I'd ever take somebody late game over PoEs Oriana, because for some reason him on that champion, like when they let him scale, is just irresponsible.
Yeah. No, I have this towards PoE as well. Again, no bias. But only slightly. I think both these guys play like really similar champions. But PoE does it like slightly better, you know? He plays LeBlanc, the Oriana, the Syndra. He just plays it slightly better than
I think it
Jensen does. I think
depends on who
Jensen,
can take over the game better. Who can take over the game
yeah,
more?
Jensen can probably take over the game with something like Zoe, if they do get the ball rolling on that though.
Now
Yeah,
you have the
I think
bot
it's
lane
a
matchup.
pretty even matchup though in the mid.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's pretty. You can
It
argue
it
about
is relatively even, yeah.
The bot lane matchup. Tactical and Core JJ versus Wild Turtle and Ignar. I think TL's bot lane got this.
Yeah, hard to argue against them, eh? I mean, they've been really consistent throughout the whole split.
Yeah.
Wild Turtle has been playing pretty solid. Ignar
He's been playing better lately.
Yeah, I'll give
A
him
lot
that.
better. So
Then Ignar.
Yeah.
Ignar's just Ignar, man. Yeah, he's
He
you know what he's gonna
wants
do.
to get his team in. He literally will leave you level 2 on Thresh, go up to mid lane, flay them backwards, ignite them, just so your mid laner can kill them. I'm like, that's a dude I can respect.
Bro,
Right, he wants to get the game going.
That Thresh hook, I forgot which series it was in or which game it was in, where he just roamed mid like level 3. I forgot who it was against, but their mid was backing behind. They were red side. FlyQuest was blue side, and they were backing behind one of the things above river, the little like cliff. He threw a blind hook because they didn't have vision, got it, tossed the fucking lantern, went in and flayed them back and got the kill. I think it might have been on C9. Bro, that shit was clean. Like, was...
Oh, I remember this actually. Yeah. This was pretty recent, right?
Yeah, this was. I'm pretty sure it was against C9.
Yeah.
You
I
win
remember this.
So I would ask you, Triple, since you have been able to play with Ignar, is there certain things Ignar hasn't been able to show the public so far about his gameplay, other than just being a playmaking support? Is there other things he contributes to the team?
Damn, I don't want to like give too much away. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. Like he's just good at what he does and plays towards mid. Like there was a joke. I think Froggen said it. Someone asked him like, who are the best mid laners in the region, and he said, I think Santorin and Ignar are the best mid laners. Like they're the two best mid laners because I mean they're just permanently in his lane from like level 3. So
Yeah, basically a budget TSM version. Like it's literally they're all trying to put it in
Yeah.
towards mid.
But it works.
the one thing I
though.
will say is like they're going to gank mid. You know, like they're gonna put
Yeah.
everything into that kind of that lane. I was trying to think of the
Because
word.
Wild Turtle and Solo are your weak side players that if they don't fall behind, then you can leave it to Santorin and PoE to get you through it, while Ignar is applying enough early game pressure against a stronger team so you don't exactly get rolled over. Now, the issue here is you're playing against Tactical and Core JJ. Now, for Core JJ and Ignar, Core JJ wants to do the exact same thing.
I think
That's
I think you have to ban Rakan against Ignar. I think you kind of like have to, because champs that like Core JJ likes to play like Rakan, or I mean like Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you really want to hook a Rakan and give him free time to ult W, charm the whole team. I don't know. I think you have to ban those two champs specifically. If you're against Core JJ, you gotta kind of ban the Blitz. Like after what he's shown with it, like normally like in solo queue, it's a solo queue god champ. In pro, it's been kind of known like it's kind of easier for pros, at least with the mechanics they have, to kind of dodge him out. But like he's been landing these consistent hooks that set up engages and stuff. So I don't know. I think that's going to be a good matchup, but I also don't think Core JJ will allow Ignar to roam as much as he would like to. I think he can punish more than, say, other supports would, like Zazel.
So the bigger mismatch is Tactical versus Wild Turtle. So you've got a chance to play with Wild Turtle, as we talked before. Wild Turtle is really strong, but do you think in the series he can go toe-to-toe with Tactical, who was just as good as FBI or Sven during the split?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been improving a lot lately, and I think there's like a one indicator that you can always look at or track if you'd like is just solo queue ranking. And if you see people like climbing up solo queue, then that's like sort of an indicator that they're improving, they're doing well. And I don't know, I feel like I can just see it, like maybe he's motivated or whatever. But he's playing better than how he was playing, say, last split or even earlier this year when he was playing with me, You can notice the improvement. So I think he can toe-to-toe with him, although I will give it to Tactical. Just like a slight edge to him, though.
So you also have the TL playstyle. The TL playstyle is don't really do much, punish mistakes.
Yeah.
The slow.
It's just gonna be dragon stacking, bro. Like I think all 5 games, they're just gonna stack dragons. That's like how both teams play. So it's whichever team dances around the dragon better finds the engage.
Because TL are pretty slow.
Yeah.
I would say pretty slow, but they're not gonna. They're very they forgive the early game. They want to punish mid game mistakes, get the Baron, get the dragons, and in the game.
Yeah.
FlyQuest pretty much want to do the similar thing. Sorry, Sherry.
Same thing. Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say I just think you can try to force them off the same champs that they like to play though, because if you look, like they've played the least amount of unique champions the whole split. Like they were cut and dry, same comps every time. Most of the split, they played the same thing. So I think you could try to force them to play something else, something that they might not be as comfortable on, and try to force through that. But overall, honestly, I think it'll be a really good series.
All right. So my predictions is, fuck. God damn.
Yeah, you did your lane to lane. Now it's your turn.
No, dang it! I was gonna say, end the show. It's over, guys.
You can do it after if you want.
Oh my
I can leave for a bit,
No.
Damn. Headphones.
Hard, man. They both have really strong things that they're going for. But if FlyQuest 1, I'm not. Here's what I'll say to pivot this. I'm predicting TL 3-2. But if FlyQuest 1, I'm not surprised at all because they are a strong team.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Like
I wouldn't even call it an upset.
It's not even an upset. They're definitely playing better. They're definitely improving. All right, so for the LEC, I don't think they have many matches this week. Oh, they actually do. Oh, G2 versus Fnatic. Mad versus
G2 Fnatic
Schalke.
and Mad Schalke. That's a big
it's always G2 and Fnatic, man. The El Clasico.
Yeah. Always has been.
Oh, my God. So let's
but
go
there really isn't much on the line for those two, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it's just seeding.
maybe if you have a grudge against one of the other teams, you can kind of kick them all down.
Yeah, I guess
Want
so.
to get
Yeah.
payback, I guess. But other than
Mhm.
that, I just think it's seeding. I
I
got
think it's just
Rio.
G2. Yeah, Fnatic all. It's not even just choke. I hate who use that excuse. They're not Fnatic aren't choking. They're just literally worse as a team than G2. It's not that they. It's not that Fnatic play worse against G2. G2 just have the better players. It's not. I understand there's nothing they can do about it. But I hate when people say, "Oh yeah, it's only because Fnatic is choking, G2's winning." It's like that's not even close to true. You are literally Iron 5 if you believe that.
You don't win. I mean, okay, I can't say you don't lose series off of choking. You can, but
You
like
can.
that many times in a row. Like, when's the last time Fnatic beat G2 in a?
The last time
best
Fnatic beat
of
G2 was in like the 2019. It was in a split. They beat them the first game, the last game of that day. I forgot. Yeah, they haven't won for a bit. They haven't won for a while. They went 7-0
Was that
against G2 this year.
the long
It was,
ass game?
it was like Broxah. He played like Gragas or some shit. Yeah. Like the last time they won was a BO1. I think last year in the summer split of 2019. It's been a while since they've actually beaten G2 legitimately. You know.
But like, what G2's won how many splits in a row now?
Oh my god, they're literally. Oh, good god, they pretty much.
Yeah.
They've
Like,
won
in
almost
best of
every
fives,
split.
like-
In best of
Also,
fives.
Caps was playing ADC for fun or something as well last split.
Yeah,
so-
they did another.
and they
fucking
still
long
won.
swap.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I think though, I feel like both these teams feel like they're gonna meet each other in finals. So it wouldn't make too much sense to just like reveal everything just right now, right?
Mhm.
Like even if you lose this one, it doesn't matter too much.
I don't think Fnatic have much though, dude.
So I can bet for Fnatic though for this one. Maybe like a narrow 3-2 or something at best.
All right, going with the yellow. G2's gonna destroy them 3-0. Just to end all your guys' hopes and dreams.
But in the finals, I will never bet against G2.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
Because it's something that Fnatic always has against G2 where people say it's mental block. I'm not going to give you that mental block excuse 20,000 times. That is ridiculous. People have this benefit of the doubt that is so high. It's like, no, they're just not good, guys. I don't know. The sky's literally falling. Aliens are here about to conquer us. No. Nothing's happening. Everything's okay. No, what is wrong with you people? It's literally
also
not
about matchups, though.
That's true.
I think it's just like in like regular sports. Like, yeah, I'm a Ravens fan, bro. Losing to the Titans was a fucking tragedy.
I'm an Eagles
I
fan.
think it's all about matchups. So like, you know, G2. We'll take last year for Worlds. Like G2, they beat SKT 3-1. They got absolutely clapped every time they played against Griffin. So like, I think it's, you know, if they face Griffin, who says they're in the world, you know, in the finals, I think it's all about like the matchups and who you're against and like who you can punish and who you can actually give resources to in which lane, depending on who you're playing against.
And then the next series, well, the series before that, because G2 and Fnatic are the only ones people are focused on, is Mad versus Schalke. We already talked about that. You guys predicted actually Schalke to win this.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
didn't
believer.
actually. I don't remember predicting, but I'm a believer. Like
I'm a believer.
I think Schalke will win. Man, I really want both these teams to make it, but it just sucks.
Oof.
I'd rather have both of them than Rogue, but it is what
I
it
agree.
is. But I
Yeah.
agree. Schalke is going to get it. I think they turned me into a believer with the second half of the split. Like, they did the opposite of what Cloud9 did.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Hard
I'll say
to not root
3-1,
for them.
3-1 G2, and then I'll say 3-1 for Schalke beating Mad. Mad have a very distinct playstyle that is so punishable that pretty much any team can do it. It's just that, you know, they just have to be facing Schalke. But with that, is there any LCK playoff series? Oh yeah, it's Africa.
Well, they're about to start.
T1 Africa, yeah.
T1 Africa. So we actually watched the LPL, not LPL.
There's just no way Africa wins, right?
Not even close.
There's just no way.
There is no good.
Who's even on Africa anymore? They have like Keen,
Keen, Mystic, Spirit.
Okay, but
Fly, and Ben. Okay.
They actually do have good players, but like it's T1, man. It's T1 in playoffs. It's like the G2 of Korea.
Yeah, I mean they were in this exact spot last split, and then they ended up I think it was actually really bad. I think they 3-1'd pretty much every team.
Yeah.
So you have Keen, Spirit, Fly. Was it Jelly? Is their ADC? Or is that the support?
Mystic.
It's
Mystic and Ben.
Mystic and Jelly. Or Mystic and Ben. Sorry, Mystic and Ben.
Oh, it could
Mystic
be Jelly
is,
too.
Mystic is
Something
really
like that.
good. Mystic is really strong. But-
Yeah, that guy is good. But
T1,
you're against Teddy, man.
Yeah, that's a problem. Being up against Teddy is the deciding factor because I don't think that because people are gonna say, "Oh, T1 is Faker." You don't watch the LCK then because Faker is not playing right now. It's literally.
He got subbed in for a game.
He
They
did,
lost.
but that game didn't matter as well.
He's like, "Put me in. It doesn't matter. Please, I want to play some League." Oh my god.
No, I think you will see both of them though, Faker and Closer. That's for sure.
I think T1 will win this 3-0. To be honest here,
Isn't it a best of 3?
It's a best of 3. It's a
round?
wild card round. This is a stomp.
Yeah. I mean, best of 3. Hey, there's more chance of fluking though. It's not best of 5, right?
True.
So you never know. If you want to believe, then I guess now's the time, right?
I don't though. I do not believe.
I don't believe either.
Oh my god. So that concludes Rift Insight Season 1, Episode 7. Sorry the series has been on a little bit of a hiatus. My friend got sick. He's been out of commission for a little bit. He's getting better. And thank you to Triple for coming on. You know, if you ever want to come on next week to, talk about the series, then always welcome.
Yeah, anytime.
Shinryu, if you want to come back on next week to see Cloud9 not making worlds, and I'm literally crying my eyes out. I'm bawling. Oh no, we're gonna sit out. Then yeah, you guys will see that. But see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. Anything you guys want to say before we close out?
Can't wait to laugh at you next week when team loses.
Good God, the trash talk is starting.
Yeah, I'll try to be on there next week again because I want to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, same. We'll see you soon.
As you guys watch this as a VOD on YouTube, just make sure to like the video, and that's it. See you guys later. Peace. Goodbye. I am going to go work out. I'm going to the gym. Woo. Hashtag C9 win. Peace out. I might int my solo queue game.
I might int some solo queue. I'm gonna try to hit challenger so I can int
Oh my
triple.
god. Triple, what do you do?
I'll see you there.
I'm playing in Diamond 4 right now. I'll see you soon.
What? Oh, let's go. You guys can do it. I got an LCS mid. I got a mid laner. I'm like,
It wouldn't work. We butt heads. I play mid too.
Oh no! He's like, come on. He's like, come on,
up.
dude. He's like, come on, dude. I'm proven good. You know what I mean? He goes, I'm actually on a team. He's like, oh my god.
No, I'll give it up. I'll go play my second role.
If we play support Jana and shit.
No, I told you I'll go play Soraka.
Oh my god. All right, see you guys later.